probably the biggest trailer drop of the year, you have definitely come to the right place.
Oh, absolutely.
Steven Spielberg is officially taking us back to the stars, and we just got our first deep look at Disclosure Day.
And this is, I mean, this is so much more than just a trailer. It's a massive event.
It really is.
It feels like a potential return to, peak form for the director who practically wrote the rules for the modern blockbuster.
Right.
But what's really surprising, based on what we're seeing, is this unexpected emotional core. There's a real philosophical weight that seems to be anchoring all the spectacle.
Absolutely. And that's our mission today. We're going to unpack all the initial sources around this massive announcement. We're looking past the amazing visuals and digging into the cast, which is just unbelievably star-studded.
The kind of lineup you hire for serious drama.
Exactly. And we're going to explore those central themes of truth, secrecy, and humanity that are so clearly driving the narrative here.
And we have to talk about the timing, the cultural timing of this release.
Yes.
I mean, the film's entire marketing campaign is, it seems, very strategically tied into this real-world conversation happening right now about UFOs and government transparency. This isn't just a movie tapping into a trend. It's tapping into a genuine global nerve.
Okay, let's start with those initial details then. I mean, the teaser drop alone just revealed this massive lineup. Emily Blunt, Josh O'Connor, Colin Firth, Colman Domingo, Eve Hewson. It's a roster built for internal conflict, not just running from explosions.
It signals their ambition.
Yeah.
Right? A film with this kind of scope, it requires incredible emotional grounding, and that cast reflects that necessity completely.
Okay, so let's unpack that. This feels like a very deliberate, very high-stakes swing back into the alien genre for Spielberg.
It absolutely is. And you have to look at his history to really get the weight of this decision. I mean, he is the defining director for these kinds of stories.
The one and only.
He's the one who gave us the paranoia and, the sheer terror of War of the Worlds, but also the pure wonder and friendship in E.T.
And the government secrecy and that struggle to communicate in Close Encounters, it's his celebrated wheelhouse.
Exactly.
And what makes this pivot so creatively striking is the immediate contrast with his most recent work. I mean, just back in 2022, he gave us The Fabelmans.
Right, that very intimate, critically acclaimed, semi-autobiographical drama.
Which was an Oscar darling. So to move from that deeply personal picture straight back into a massive, world-changing sci-fi spectacle, that's a huge shift in gears.
It shows incredible artistic flexibility, but also, I think, his confidence in the power of the blockbuster when it's anchored by real character.
And he's relying on familiar collaborators to do it.
Well, that's key. The sources confirmed the script was written by David Koepp, who, famously wrote Jurassic Park.
Of course.
And it's all based on a story idea from Spielberg himself. So you've got that foundational blockbuster DNA infused with this very personal directorial ambition.
That collaboration basically guarantees a certain kind of cinematic scope. And that's why I find the comment from one of the film's stars, Josh O'Connor, so compelling. He recently described Disclosure Day simply as, it's like old school Spielberg.
I love that phrase.
What do you think that specific term, old school Spielberg, really implies for us, the audience, in the context of, a huge 2026 production?
I think that phrase is a very strategic indicator. It's setting a precise expectation. Our sources suggest it could mean a renewed focus on, say, character-driven suspense over nonstop CGI, which defined his earlier work.
Ah, like practical effects.
It might signal a return to that, yeah, or just his specific cinematic language. The way he frames ordinary suburban life being invaded by something extraordinary, it suggests that heart and wonder will be prioritized above just sheer digital spectacle.
And they're going to need that human focus because, again, the cast list is it's so heavy. It implies a story that requires serious emotional firepower. Let's run down that full confirmed list again. Emily Blunt, Josh O'Connor, Colin Firth, Colman Domingo, Eve Hewson, plus Wyatt Russell and Elizabeth Marvel. That's a phenomenal amount of talent.
And it signals that they are preparing for complexity.
Yeah.
You don't hire actors like Colin Firth or Colman Domingo just to deliver exposition.
Yeah.
You hire them to tackle nuance, to portray these societal fractures, and to really embody the moral struggle that a discovery like this would bring. And that brings us to the core tension of the film itself, this theme of truth.
This is where we get the real aha moment. For anyone who thinks this is just another alien invasion flick, the trailer gives us two specific quotes that immediately establish the movie's philosophical battleground. and they're in direct opposition.
Exactly. The first one, it's spoken by Josh O'Connor's character, and it's basically the mission statement of the entire film. It's the reason for the title.
People have a right to know the truth. It belongs to 7 billion people.
That's it. That's the pure democratic argument for full transparency.
And that quote is instantly recognizable. It's the disclosure argument that has been all over public discourse, even in U.S. congressional hearings. It's the perfect political framework for the film.
It is, pitting institutional secrecy against the fundamental right to knowledge.
But here's the fascinating friction, though. By focusing so explicitly on that disclosure angle, doesn't Spielberg risk making the film feel less timeless, more like a period piece about current events?
That is a huge risk for a film coming out in 2026. Absolutely.
So how does he elevate it beyond just mirroring today's headlines?
He elevates it with the second quote, the more profound, more existential one, delivered by Elizabeth Marvel's character. She asks, why would he make such a vast universe yet save it only for us?
Okay.
And that question moves the discussion completely away from government cover-ups and into this deep contemplation of humanity's place in the cosmos.
It forces the characters and us, the audience, to confront our own smallness.
Exactly. To challenge our own anthropocentric bias.
So, the film is actually wrestling with two conflicts at the same time. The political one, transparency versus secrecy, and the philosophical one, human importance versus cosmic insignificance. That dual structure provides all the dramatic tension it needs.
It completely transforms the narrative from a simple physical threat into a profound intellectual and spiritual challenge. And that explains the incredible emphasis on the emotional weight of the script.
Yeah, which the creative team has been emphasizing over and over again. We've established the spectacle, the big ideas, but the depth of feeling they're promising it's unexpected for a summer tentpole film.
Very unexpected.
David Koepp, the writer, called the film a very emotional experience, which is an interesting way to describe a sci-fi blockbuster.
It's extremely unusual.
Sure.
And it tells us the drama isn't external, it's internal. And the source material highlights this truly powerful reaction from Colman Domingo.
Oh, yes.
He's starring in the film. And he described his reaction to the screenplay, saying, I finished reading the script and I bawled.
And he went on to call it one of the most beautiful scripts about our humanity. I mean, that goes so far beyond the typical actor praise for a new project. He seems genuinely moved by it.
That level of sincerity is a massive endorsement. Domingo even added that he cried because Steven Spielberg believes in the possibility of the human beings we could be.
Wow.
That statement suggests the film isn't just about surviving the moment of discovery. It's about how the world chooses to react.
Do we descend into panic and conflict, or do we rise to a moment of shared global humanity?
Exactly. It transforms the spectacle into a modern parable about unity.
And that emotional core, that call for unity, it shines a really powerful light on the film's strategic timing. Let's pivot to the marketing, because the release strategy for Disclosure Day is just fascinatingly intertwined with the current cultural moment.
You absolutely cannot ignore the zeitgeist connection here. The film's marketing has coincided perfectly with this major, sustained surge in public interest around real-world UFO phenomena.
Whistleblowers, the push for transparency, or as it's often called, disclosure.
All of it. And the sources confirm this alignment isn't just a coincidence. It feels very calculated.
Like the massive success of that hit documentary, The Age of Disclosure.
Right, which directly alleges a government cover-up over alien life and classified tech. And that documentary isn't some niche hit.
No, it broke records. It became the most rented documentary in its first 48 hours on Amazon Prime Video.
That unprecedented level of success proves the public is actively seeking content around this exact theme of secrecy and truth. Spielberg isn't just making a sci-fi movie. He's inserting his narrative directly into a massive cultural conversation that's already happening.
The marketing reach confirms it. We've already seen those high-impact billboards popping up in places like Times Square,
making the film's title part of the daily news cycle. And strategically, the trailer is being positioned to hit the widest, most primed audience possible.
Sources confirm the Disclosure Day trailer is playing before the latest Avatar movie.
Exactly. By linking it directly to the biggest current sci-fi blockbuster, they guarantee immediate recognition and buzz among the core fans who are most invested in these themes.
That's how you signal you're playing in the cinematic big leagues.
Which, speaking of the big leagues, we need to talk about where Disclosure Day is actually landing. The absolutely brutal summer 2026 blockbuster field.
Yes. The release window is set for summer 2026, and this is where the cultural phenomenon meets the hard commercial calculation. Summer 2026 is already looking intensely competitive.
It's going to be a battle for screens, for audience attention, for any critical breathing room. The list of confirmed blockbusters it's contending with. It paints a picture of a landscape where established franchise IP just dominates.
You're not exaggerating. That season is stacked. Disclosure Day is scheduled to release alongside huge family titles like Toy Story 5 and Minions 3.
Which guarantees massive, repeatable audiences.
Then you have competing auteur projects like Christopher Nolan's new film, The Odyssey, which targets that prestige, must-see cinematic experience audience, arguably the same demographic Spielberg is hoping to attract.
And then you have the straight-up franchise spectacle, Supergirl, the live-action Morana, and He-Man, Masters of the Universe.
It's a perfect storm of animation, superheroes, nostalgia, reboots, and competing auteur drama.
It truly will be a test.
Yeah.
They're relying on that old-school Spielberg quality and that powerful emotional core to carve out a space for an original concept.
And how will an original concept, even one directed by Spielberg, stand out against all that established IP?
That is precisely why the themes we discussed are so critical. Spectacle alone won't differentiate it from Supergirl or He-Man.
Right.
The source material really emphasizes that the cultural conversation about our humanity, about institutional trust, about truth, that's the differentiation point. They are selling a thought-provoking, deeply felt experience, something that aims to resonate long after the credits roll.
Positioning it as the serious, relevant summer film. So, as we wrap up this deep dive, let's just summarize the unique offering of Disclosure Day. It really looks like Spielberg is blending his classic alien spectacle and blockbuster sensibilities with a profound emotional focus on our humanity and the fundamental right to truth.
And using a massive cast to carry that dramatic weight, it's the perfect collision of artistic ambition and cultural timing.
It really is.
And given that powerful marketing strategy, which deliberately connects the film to the real-world drive for disclosure and all the allegations of government cover-ups, it raises an important question for you, the listener, to consider.
What stands out to you about the themes?
Well, the sources confirm Spielberg is tackling institutional trust head-on. So the real question is, if this film successfully argues that secrecy is the biggest threat, will that powerful cinematic message actually translate back into the real-world conversation about governmental transparency?
What will Spielberg ultimately suggest is the greater danger?
Is it the arrival of the aliens themselves, or is it the human reaction to the secrecy surrounding their existence? I think that exploration of who we are when the universe suddenly expands, that's the biggest hook of all.
If you found out we weren't alone, if someone showed you, proved it to you, would that frighten you?
Good morning, Kansas City. Let's take a look at today. Today is... Today's...
People have a right to know the truth. It belongs to 7 billion people.
What is it?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you. So I'm gonna show you.
What are you gonna do?
Full disclosure to the whole world. All at once. People keep wondering. Encountering the unknown. They're coming! They're coming! They are starved for the truth.
Do you think there could be others?
Why would he make such a vast universe? Yet save it only for us?